Hello, welcome back to Mulligan Wargaming. This is War in the Pacific Admirals Edition, play-by-email campaign playing as Japan. And this is going to be the December 18th, 1941 turn, Mulligan Edition. No setup this time, we're just going to go straight to the replay after this intro. Basically with the 17th and the 18th, there's so little difference in the setups, it's not really worth talking through the strategy. The strategy's the same. And then, for the 19th, I'll just apologize in advance. We're not going to have a setup for that one anyway, and that really just came down to time constraints. As I'm doing all the extra work to get these 2 extra turns, it was hard to find time to get the video in. We'll be back to the regular format starting with the 20th. So with that, let's just go ahead and move forward to the replay. And here we go, combat replay for December 18th, 1941, Mulligan Edition. Let's see how far his carriers can get and whether they can refuel in time. Alright, we've run into a Dutch sub in the Celebes Sea. Took a defensive shot at us and missed. We'd failed to prosecute. Right. Bombing Tay. I'm not sure there's any ships left here, but, just to be sure. Oh, look at that. There are ships left here, including minesweepers. Alright, so ASW-capable ships, tankers, getting hit here. Looks like some of that damage caused by the heavy cruiser was quite severe. Just gonna skip through what the little guys do. Alright, looks like, heavy damage for just about every ship in port, except for this tanker. Well, except for both tankers and one of the PGs. All the rest of these guys with heavy damage, especially if they're still on fire, in danger of sinking this turn or next turn. Low Force Z. Be really nice if these guys would run into one of our submarines. Gotta do something to get these guys to slow down. Wonder if it would work if we just ran a quick minefield over there. I'm actually gonna write that down. Something I can look for in the setup to the next turn. Yep, speaking of ships at Tay going down. Hey, we finally spotted somebody off the coast of the US. Well, bit of overkill there, don't you think? Oh, geez, a second volley of torpedoes. 5 torpedo hits, jeez.
I guess deployed this far from home, they're not worried about running out of ammo before they run out of fuel. Oh, we just missed the Canberra. Boo. Come on, rowboats. Can do better. So we definitely have valid contacts around Port Moresby. I don't know if any of those were the carrier battle group. Alright, no one wants to play at Clark. Singapore's got action, though. To a good start. Just gotta watch out for those H-81s, also known as P-40s. They're nowhere near as pathetic as the Buffaloes. Alright, so that is AVG Squadron C. They didn't put up much of a fight. We got 4 Buffaloes. None of the AVG, but they only put up 3 aircraft against us. Round 2. Got one. AVG Squadron A also reported. Okay, actually that's 3rd Squadron A Division, so we've got elements of the 1st and 3rd AVG Squadrons here. Curious that they've been divided up like that. Of course, if they're not going to have that many fighters protecting Singapore, this Sally raid would have done much better to hit Singapore Air Base than attacking these troops. Speaking of which, no resistance at Clark. Get hit by Sallies. They shot down one of our Sallies, though. We didn't do that much damage to the base. Well, severe storms will do that. May have to increase their altitude if I'm getting shot down by flak, though. Getting some good base hits over at Hong Kong. Keep them from building up those forts. B-17s have to contend with a bit more resistance this time. We do manage to have a Zero shoot one down. Those 20mm cannons are no joke. Won't do as well here. Yeah, can't catch the bomber. And even when they do, they don't know what to do with it. Well, at least they couldn't hit anything. B-17s everywhere. All the more reason to start bombing these air bases a little bit more aggressively. Ouch. Lose an ACM. That may affect the size of the minefield we can keep here. Still no airstrikes in the Rabaul, Port Moresby area. Maybe our last chance. Well, our last chance this turn anyways. Of course, we've got no escorts. But we got through. Ah, just HDMLs, huh? You know, there's this other task force right here that may very well be Force Z retiring. Well, who knows? Maybe it's not too late. That was just 13 Nels. I'm sure we have more at the ready. Speaking of which... yeah, I forgot we still don't have an air HQ here. And these ships are pretty much already unloaded at this point. So, don't have high hopes for this raid. Just dropping bombs on them. Yeah, what a waste. Yeah, still haven't canceled that. One of these days I'll remember. Not bad. Well, we were not able to relocate their carriers this turn, it appears. At least not within strike range. Oh wow, look at that. 39 squads destroyed to nothing. Hong Kong is teetering on the brink. Easy dot base capture. These guys have no power at all. Did They retreat or surrender? They retreated. Looks like I've got enough power to attack here. So that'll be an attack next turn. Taking over Victoria Point. Hopefully finishing off Wake.
Hello, you fighting orphans of the Pacific. This is your favorite enemy, Orphan Anne, at Radio Tokyo, with music to lift your spirits and words to depress your morale. But first, Imperial General Headquarters announced today that the ever-victorious forces of the Japanese Empire have captured Wake.
Well, survived this deliberate attack in the pre-Mulligan one. Hopefully that'll stay the same for post-Mulligan. Yes. And the Allies got the worst of it. Concerning amount of casualties from the bombardment as before. Very curious about who this is over here. Alright, let's take a quick look at the losses. Air-to-air losses 9-2, that's a good sign, but let's look at everything all together. We only lost 5 aircraft today. Most we lost were 2 Sallies, thanks to a flak loss. And then the air-to-air losses were a Jake and an Oscar. I'm not sure where we lost the Jake, but I think they run into caps all the time. Really a pretty uneventful day for us in the air. The Allies, on the other hand, well, they lost their Wildcats at Wake to having the base overrun. 5 air-to-air losses for B-17s. Wow. We only knew about 1, but apparently some of these guys just got so shot full of holes they didn't make it back. That's a really surprisingly high number. And plus 4 Buffaloes and 1 P-40. Very low numbers overall, I'd say. In terms of ships sunk, they're not credited with any against us, and we're being credited with the 2 HDMLs at Singapore, plus 1 of these cargo. Oh, that's the cargo ship off the U.S. coast near San Diego. So we didn't get credited for any of the sinkings over at Tawi. So over here, fully armed, not fully armed. So this was the submarine that was involved in the intercept. Don't have any information on who's in port over here. Let's take a quick look over the map and see what we can see. These enemy units are... Well, as in so with the pre-Mulligan attack, they got in here at the same time as ours. So, I mean, basically all there is to do now is attack them, and I guess that makes them the priority bombing target for the turn. Hong Kong, it almost seemed like the battle went better than with the Mulligan turn. Certainly in terms of squad destruction, it went better for us. Fatigue's a little bit of an issue. Disruption is not. I think I might be inclined to just keep fighting since they lost so many. We're right next to being able to maybe take a shot at Chusin, and it looks like there's only one enemy unit there. That might be worth assigning some recon flights to confirm. In contact with an enemy unit here. That's probably an already defeated unit. Still not really in contact with anyone around here, even though we've been moving out in that direction a little bit. So this is kind of interesting. We got this stray guy over here that's trying to cross the river. I don't know what good that's going to do him. But, you know, I guess if he wants to cross, he can. He's just going to be between two of my bases. Definitely want to attack here. That's going to be an attack too. And we're still waiting to get more units up here to break that stalemate. Yeah, so not too much going on. So Rangoon, these guys basically have unloaded already. It's unfortunate. We really just have to get torpedo bombers up here to be able, or torpedoes for the bombers to be able to do any good. Got to move on to Voy in progress here. 41 out of 46 miles, so we're nearly there, except for this guy, because it's an HQ unit and it doesn't need to be in the same hex. Very low enemy fighter presence reported at Singapore, but with the AVG being moved in at least piecemeal, that could change at any time. Cruiser destroyer squadron that's potentially Force C hanging out there. We didn't get overrun here in this version, so I guess it's something to like better about this timeline, right? Where is Carrier Division 2 right now? I must be blind. Why don't I see them? Oh, they're right here. Alright. So, with some possibility that the direction they got away might have been up through here, or that they might be transiting through the Torres Strait to Darwin. Carrier Division 2 is needed in the Banda Sea a lot more than they're needed in the Sulu Sea. And of course, the area we care about most. We do have an enemy task force here. It appears to be their replenishment group. It's moving southwest, so I think we can infer that the refueling took place today. Let's activate our search areas. I'm a little surprised we don't have contacts. Because if he's just starting to move off to the southwest, that sort of implies that he's here, doesn't it? I think we said he was going to end the turn around here, so he started here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he probably ended last turn here, so then this turn would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Port Moresby. Or a space just outside of it, and I don't see why this guy would move further east after refueling that carrier task force, so I don't think the carrier task force is further west than these guys. So he's probably there. Or there, since the task, or this is where the refueling took place, I guess I should say. If these guys truly are oilers, then that replenishment could have been underway, which means the carrier group continued to vacate the premises afterwards. So, let's do it this way. We said they finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, probably here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're right there right now. Theoretically. Right between both of my carrier task forces. Let's have a quick look at my fuel state. Carrier Division 1 is not critical, but they are thirsty. Carrier Division 3, a little bit better, but also not great. And my replenishment group is at least another day away. Or at least one additional day away. So I guess not that much question of what to do here. I mean, these guys just need to keep pushing south and see if we can pick them back up. If they want to start sprinting again so soon after they've been refueled, that's going to limit their options a little bit because they're going to need to refuel again right away. So this may be a little bit more of an endurance race than a sprint. Places they would be likely to refuel if they keep sprinting would be Brisbane over here with port capacity 5. It's not going to be enough to dock a carrier, but you don't necessarily need to dock the carriers to get the task force in general fueled up. Noumea is often a decent possibility, but at this point in life they only have it built up to port 2, so that's not good. And then the most obvious would be Sydney. Heck, they might come all the way around and try to hide at Melbourne. So what might end up happening here is just my carriers just might kind of ravage the Australian coast for a while, looking to see what they can find. Do they have the sorties for that? Well, Carrier Division 2's doing just fine, or Division 3's doing just fine. 560. 666, yeah. These carriers are doing just fine. They're just going to need to tank on the way, so we'll just have them keep moving south at a relatively steady pace as the tankers sprint to catch up with them. I can live with that. So take a quick look at the map, see if we see anything else. I'm not seeing any green dots where there shouldn't be. Alright, so I think that's going to do it then. We'll see you for the setup for the 19th. Thanks for watching.